This is video number 2 of knowledge check number 1, starting with question number 4. So now in question number 4 and 5, which are in this video, you're going to see a bit more of a word problem where then you are asked to make the equation from that word problem and then solve. So question number 4 says, write an equation you could use to solve each problem. Solve each equation by systematic trial. So once again, that guess and check method. So looking at A, I've written them down for us already here, but I want to walk through it with you. So looking at A, it says Andrew lost 15 hockey cards. This subtraction sign, that's from that word lost. So when it says we've lost 15 hockey cards, we have to write down subtract 15. Draw a 1 there. So it is x minus 15. He has 37 left. And that's where we get our equal sign from. He has 37 left at the end of this, so equals 37. How many cards did he have to start with? So the question is our variable. How many cards did he start with? He then lost 15. He has 37 left, so equals 37. There's our equation. We've set up our equation. That's 1 mark if you've done that. Your second mark comes from solving this. So going through guess and check, we could start with a number. I'd start with a fairly large number here because we take away 15 from a larger number. We need to get something around 37. So I might start with something that's as big as, let's say, 50. I start with a 50 and I try that. 50 minus 15 is 35. So fairly close. I need 2 more. So I'm going to try 52. And 52 minus 15 does give me 37. So I know for A, x equals 52. There's your second mark in that question. So 4A is at a 2. Part B, 15 multiplied by n. Remember, when that variable is beside a number, it means to multiply. I can't say that enough. Equals 255. And how did we get that? Well, the question said Abba bought 15 DVDs for $255. So she bought 15 DVDs and in total they cost her $255. She paid the same amount for each DVD. So if she bought 15 of them, how much did they cost if in total they are going to be $255? So 15 multiplied by the total amount that they cost gives me my answer. So we're trying to figure out how much did each DVD cost, and that is my variable. So start with something, and it is a little bit bigger number here, so you could use a calculator if needed. We might start with a number such as 15. Maybe I go 15 multiplied by 15. If you want to grab your calculators, go ahead and do that right now. And you go 15 multiplied by 15, you should get 225. So is 225 the answer we're looking for? Not quite, so we'll go up a little bit. We'll try 17. 15 multiplied by 17. Type that in your calculators, go ahead. 15 multiplied by 17 should give you the 255 we're looking for, so n equals 17. And what does that mean in the end? Well, that means that each of these DVDs cost $17. She bought 15 of them, so 15 multiplied by 17 gives us 255. So 1 mark for your answer, 1 mark for that equation. C, the last one here. We're talking about Stacy. Stacy shares 35 candies equally among her group of friends. Each friend was given 5 candies. How many friends are in the group? So the way we set this up is Stacy shares 35 candies equally among her friends. So in total, she's sharing 35 candies. Then we're going to say each friend was given 5 candies. So each friend gets 5 of these candies, which is over here. And then our question is, how many friends are in the group? So this variable is how many friends are in that group. So to find that out, we try guess and check again. I might start with the number 5. Using my multiplication, 5 times 5 gives me 25. I need a little bit more to get to 35. The 5 didn't work. Let's try 7. 5 multiplied by 7 gives me 35. So I know that n equals 7, and that is telling me that there were 7 friends in the group. So 5 candies per 7 friends, so 5 times 7 gave me my total of 35 candies. So 1 mark for setting up the equation, 1 mark for your answer. So total in number 4 should be out of 6, 2 marks for each question. Total is out of 6 marks. Total that up, and let's move on to number 5. Okay, number 5 once again is more of a word problem. It's giving you this time a sentence, and you have to create the equation with the sentence that it's giving you. So looking at 5a, I'll read it out and then we'll write it here together. 5a, 6 more than a number is 17. So look at the part that says more than a number. I know that is addition. So 6 more than a number. So plus 6 gives me 17. When it says a number, that's our variable. And I'll use n to represent that. N is representing my number. So n plus 6 equals 17. We'll go through and we'll write down the equations first. So there's 1 mark already because you've written down your equation from the sentence. B. We have 5 less than a number is 23. When it says less than a number, I know that is subtract. So 5 less than that number equals 23. Use n to represent our number. There's another mark. C. We have 3 times a number is 18. So 3 times a number. So 3 multiplied by a number. How do we show that? Well, we put the coefficient right beside the variable. So 3 times a number equals 18. Another mark for that equation. D. We have a number divided by 4 is 8. So a number divided by 4 equals 8. E. We have 2 more than a number, 2 more than 3 times a number is 17. So this one looks like a 2-part question. It's a little bit longer. So let's look at that. It says 2 more. So that's going to be a plus 2. The other part of this, 2 more than 3 times a number. So 3 multiplied by a number. And then is 17. So reading this through, 2 more than 3 times a number is 17. And the last one here is F. We have 5 less, so minus 5. 5 less than twice a number. Twice a number is 2 times a number. Gives us 9. So reading through this, 5 less than twice a number, so 2 times a number, is 9. Okay, so there's the first part to that question. You've created your equations from the sentences. The second part of this question is now to just solve them. And it asks us to use inspection for this. So just by looking at this, I know that I have to add a number to 6 to get to 17. So what plus 6 gives me 17? Using my addition, I have 11 plus 6 gives me 17, so n equals 11. There is a method, and there's a reason why I haven't talked about it yet, because that's what we do at the end of this unit. And some of you, yes, have already done this, you've seen this, but there is a way to flip this 6 over to here to get to that 11. And that's taking your 17 minus 6 to get to 11. That's using actual algebra. And yes, I promise you we'll do more of that at the end of this unit, This way right now is just by inspection, using kind of what we know with addition, subtraction, multiplication. So looking at B here, using inspection again, I know I'm subtracting. I need to subtract 5 from a number to give me 23. So what minus 5 gives me 23? Well, I would have to start with a 28. So n equals 28. And for those of you that have kind of already gone ahead and said to yourselves, well, 23 plus 5 would give me 28. You've kind of already done the algebra by bringing that 5 over there. But don't worry about that method yet. That comes at the end of the unit. This was just systematic trial and inspection. So C, I'm looking at 3. I know this means multiplied by a number. So 3 times a number gives me 18. Using our multiplication tables maybe, 3 times what gives me 18? Well, 6 times 3 is 18. So n equals 6. Part D. I know that this sign here means division. So n divided by 4 gives me 8. What divided by 4 will give me 8? Well, 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. So n equals 32. And once again, if you guys have kind of started your algebra already, you know that you just kind of have to do the opposite to this side, and you can kind of use reasoning here. 8 times 4 would be 32. So looking at this and flipping it, 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. Part E. 3 multiplied by n plus 2 gives me 17. These two questions here are where inspection really works well. We inspect it by breaking down this into a two-part question. I know that this over here, this 3n, has to be 15 because 15 plus 2 equals 17. So what do I have to multiply by 3 by to get this 3n to 15? Well, 5 times 3 would be 15, and 15 plus 2 is 17, so n equals 5. I really like these ones for inspection because it helps you break the question into two parts. Over here, breaking this into a separate part, what subtract 5 gives me 9? Well, if I have 14 and I subtract 5, I get 9. So what times 2 will give me 14? 7 times 2 gives me 14, so n equals 7. Okay, so looking at number 5, each question is worth 2 marks because you got 1 mark for setting up your first equation. You get a second mark from your answers. So the total in question 5 excuse me, should be out of 12. Okay, so there's question 4 and 5. Please total up question 1, 2, and 3. Your total on the entire knowledge check should be out of 36 marks. So guys, moving forward, I've talked about it a little bit, but this was just systematic trial and inspection. This week we're going to be using tiles to help us solve these equations because we're going to deal with positive and negative numbers. And then the week after that, we'll be moving into more algebra, which you're going to start to see lots of in grade 8 through to 12. So this is definitely your start to algebra. We're introducing it to you. I hope we're getting the hang of it. And if you do have questions, please, please, please do not be afraid to ask. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow during our Zoom meeting. Remember, that is at 1 p.m. The link will go live tomorrow. See you all then. Take care.